Solving quadratic equations, the discriminant, less than 5. We can look at the nature of the roots of a quadratic equation. If we look at our quadratic formula and compare what is underneath our root sign, that value or that expression in the quadratic formula is called the discriminant. We use the value of the discriminant to determine what we call the nature of the roots we get when we solve a given equation. So for example, when the discriminant is positive, there are two distinct roots, meaning that if we were to graph our quadratic function, that quadratic function would cross the x-axis in exactly two different places. When the discriminant is equal to 0, there is one distinct real root or two equal real roots. And so an example might be where that parabola crosses just at that one spot. When the discriminant is negative, there are no real roots. So an example of what that might look like is a parabola that opens down and whose vertex is already below the x-axis. So use the discriminant to determine the natures of the roots of these examples. So we need to find the value of our discriminant. The value of the discriminant is that expression under our square root sign. And so it's b squared minus 4ac. So the discriminant is equal to, our b value is in front of our x. So 3 squared minus 4 times negative 2 times c, which is 8. We get our discriminant being equal to 9 plus 64 or 73. Because our discriminant is bigger than 0, means that we have two real roots. Let's try this one. Again, we need to make sure that we rewrite our equation in standard form. So we have 3x squared minus 5x plus 9 equals 0. Our discriminant is b squared, so negative 5 squared minus 4 times a times c. So our discriminant is 25 minus 4 times 3 times or 108. Therefore, our discriminant is equal to negative 83. Because our discriminant is less than 0, we have no real roots. Our last example has a fraction in it, and we could substitute the fractions in, but it does make it more difficult to work with fractions. And so instead of working with fractions, I'm going to multiply each term by 4. 1/4 times 4 will leave me with just x squared. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12x, plus 4 times 9, which is 36. And on the right-hand side, 4 times 0 is 0. My discriminant then is negative b squared minus 4ac, which gives me 144 minus 144, or 0. So because my discriminant is equal to 0, I either have one root or two equal roots.